Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's homework for Paul McWhorter's Raspberry Pi Pico lesson number 6, using if statements with the potentiometer to alter LED states. I've gone for a slightly different format this week because I felt that a bit of explanation was required, mainly because I've noticed since last week that my potentiometer for some reason seems to read backwards to the way that everybody else's does. This is the first part of Paul's original potentiometer program, and if I run that, you'll see that when the potentiometer is turned towards the ground, I'm actually getting the 65,535 readout, whereas when I turn it around to the 3.3 volt input, it drops down to 272. Now, I don't know if that's normal or if I've just got a dodgy batch of potentiometers, but it's different to the way that everybody else's seemed to be set up last week. Anyway, so consequently my homework last week was fairly easy because my potentiometers was set up the right way for the homework, and obviously this week I've got slightly more of a problem. Anyway, let's start with the program for this week then. From machine import pin, and from time we will import sleep. I've left the pot pin exactly the same as it was last week, which is on pin 28. This pin here. My pot is machine.adc brackets pot pin close brackets. Now we've got 3 LEDs this week: a red, a yellow and a green. For ease and for keeping mine nice and organised, I've gone for leads that are the same colour as the LEDs, and consequently, because they're different lengths, I've taken them to the nearest pin that was available for that colour. So the red pin is actually on GPIO pin 2. Copy that. My yellow pin, you can see, is along here on pin 4, and my red pin, my green pin is the short one, so I've taken that to pin 15. Okay, we'll put in a try and accept just so I can clear the LEDs at the end. And have a keyboard interrupt on there. And at that point we are going to turn all the LEDs off. LED bar dot value in brackets 0, and then we'll just print to the screen LEDs off. Goodbye. Just to make sure everybody knows that it's all finished. Okay, so back to the try. We'll have a while true loop. So I have a variable for the pot value. And we'll read the LED with a 16-bit reading. Last week I called the value that we're actually trying to calculate on the potentiometer percentage, so I'll keep that the same as we're going from 0 to 100. And this week, obviously, I've got to do something slightly different because Paul's spec this week was that when the potentiometer was to the left, he wanted his output of 0, and when the potentiometer was to the right, he wanted the output to 100. Obviously last week it was the other way around, so I need to change this. This is the same spreadsheet that I used last week. So we want left reading of 0 and a right reading of 100. Obviously my potentiometer input values are still the same. So this then is the formula that we need to put in for calculating the percentage. So we have minus 100 over 65,262 times the pot value minus 272 times, actually what we'll do is we'll shift that around, we'll say minus 100 over 65,262 times 272, and then we add 100 on the end. Now, for the part where we decide when the LEDs are going to come on and off, this is where the if statements come in. So, the first if statement, if the percentage is less than 80, then we want LED green value to be 1. And LED yellow value to be 0, because we want to leave the yellow LED off, and we want LED red value to be off as well, so that's a 0. So that's the first if statement. What we'll do is we'll copy that because it will save an awful lot of typing. So our second if statement, we are going to change. So on this one, if the percentage is greater than or equal to 80, and the percentage is less than 95, then we want the green LED off, the yellow LED will come on, and the red LED will stay off. we'll copy this one again for the last if statement. And on this one, if the percentage is greater or equal to 95, then we want the green LED off, the yellow LED off, and the red LED to come on. Just so we can see what the value is, we are going to print the integer of the percentage. Close brackets there, and then we'll sleep for half a second just to keep it a sensible pace. Okay, fingers crossed. Let's press the button and see what happens. Excellent, so we have a readout of 0 from the potentiometer on the left, and the green LED is on. Now we need to increase the value of the potentiometer, so that's roughly halfway, 50, green LED is still on. Increase it further, 72, with green LED is still on. Green is supposed to stay on until it gets to 79, and then when it gets to 80, the yellow LED comes on. And you notice the green LED went off. And if we carry on and we get to 95, then the red LED should come on. 93, 94, 95, and the red LED is on. And we go right up to 100 at the very top. And if we turn it back down again, at 88, that's between 80 and 94, so the yellow LED is on. And then if we drop down, the green LED comes back on again. There we are. Hope that all made sense, and see you again next week.